Larson, and this is my mom, Liz Larson. You might recognize her from her cake videos. You know, the other ones.
So we started getting a lot of requests for this Monster High doll. I had no idea what Monster High is, but Leah does. So today we're going to collaborate on this really cool cake. I'm going to teach Leah a few new techniques, and she's going to show you this amazing design. I hope you enjoy it. We had fun doing it. So for this project, we're going to use a number 23 star tip, a number 47 tip. This is a new one. We haven't seen this one before. This is for basket weave. A number 7 rider, a number 4 rider, a rose tip, very large, which is called a 1270, and of course our handy dandy quick icer.
So do we just shove the Barbie in the cake, or do we make a hole?
If you watched my cake videos, you'd actually know how to do that.
I do watch your cake videos.
Yeah, right. So for those of you who haven't seen our first Barbie video and don't know how to construct a Barbie cake, I'm going to demonstrate. Also for my daughter here who doesn't watch my videos. First thing we need to do is make a hole in the center of the cake. I'm going to mark just slightly. And some of you may have noticed I did wrap this Barbie in plastic wrap. This is press and seal wrap, not because the Barbie's dirty, it's sterile out of the box. However, this doll has some joints and I don't want to get cake in her joints. So I marked the center. If you notice, she's very, very narrow. And so I want to just cut a small circle out here in the center. And the reason I do this rather than punching a hole ahead of time is that I want a very narrow circle. I don't want her flopping around inside my cake. Next, we want to get the angle on our cake to create the dress. We're going to take a cake knife and choose the angle. We're going to do a pretty steep one here, cut into the cake, and then move around at that angle. So now that we put the Barbie down in, you can see that she's only up to the top of her leg here. And that's what we want. We're going to use icing to come up into more of her waist area. But we don't want the cake coming all the way up into her waist. So what I want you to do, Leah, is go ahead and ice with the quick icer up to about this level here where I've got the plastic.
Okay.
So you can see she's put a really nice layer here right around her waist, tight in. She won't need to do any smoothing there because her quick icer layer is really nice and smooth. And then we'll go ahead and continue to use the quick icer to put a nice thin layer of icing to coat the cake, cover it, and get our first layer on. So now that you have the cake all built, the design is all you.
Okay, so I actually know how to do this part. I've already designed my cake on paper, but now I want to mark out the designs on the cake itself. So I'm marking the opening for part of the dress. So one of the first designs on the cake is a panel in the front of the dress that kind of comes out to the side. So I'm marking that first. And it's curved, so I'm kind of turning this while I do it. It makes a smoother line. Okay, so now that I've marked out my design, I'm going to airbrush part of it red that's going to be underneath. So you can do this with an airbrush, or you can do it with cans of spray color. You can buy that at Michael's. This red is a little orangey looking, but it's okay because her hair is orange red too, so it works. So I'm starting at the front part. It's going to be music notes and spider webs. I'm using parchment paper with just the tip snipped off, so it's a little lighter, so I can do the small spider webs and the lines. So I'm putting on a staff. It has 5 lines. So it's very freeform, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It's very spider webby, and so it's okay to have a little bit of wrinkles there. I'm going to do a treble clef now. And then some music notes. It doesn't have to make a song. It's just random music notes, whatever you want. If you don't know what they look like, just look them up online. They're really easy to do. They're just dots and lines. Now I'm just going to do some random ones all over the white part. Now I'm just going to add spider webs on here. You can do them however you want. So spider webs are lines with just like a garland in between. You just want to do this. So now I'm making a full one. Which is just a full circle. You do one straight line, and then you do like an X and one more in the middle. Yeah, so I filled in most of the spaces, but I want it to be black and white and be able to see the different things. So I think it looks pretty good for now, and we're going to move on to the next thing.
So I'm going to take over here. I'm going to do a basket weave effect from here all the way around to here, and I'm hoping to get a checkerboard effect out of it. This is a technique that Leah is learning now too, so she's going to learn along with the audience. So what I want is I'm going to use 2 basket weave tips, which we talked about in the intro, 1 black and 1 white. For regular basket weave, you would use all 1 color, but this is checkerboard. So I'm going to start with 1. So I started with 1 strip here, and you can see it's a little bit at an angle. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on that and make sure that we stay even. So basket weave is 1 strip, and then a series of strips that go over it. You want to have about the same width as your tip. Then I come in with my next strip of white and see that I've got a space there. Back to my black, and I'm alternating. Basket weave is kind of a slow process, as you can see. but it has a gorgeous effect. And you can see its effect in dual color. And we just keep moving around our cake. I'm going to switch off and let Leah give it a try.
Okay, I'm taking over now, and just gonna make sure I keep the right angle here.
So as she moves around, you want to make sure that you leave a space and get down in there. There you go. And down in here. You have to make sure you leave enough space in between so that you don't end up with an angle. It needs to be very flat against your cake. Perfect. And very flat. For an experienced decorator to learn this technique, it's really pretty easy. It's just a matter of seeing how it's done. For a beginner, you need to really watch your steadiness, watch your pressure control. It's got to be very even.
Okay, so we just finished the basket weave. It looks really cool, but it's very time consuming, so I probably won't do that until something really special comes along. It's very tedious, so you have to make sure that you don't start doing it really fast and then you know, not doing the lines right. You want to make sure that they're all straight and they go together and they don't curve up. Okay, so next I'm going to do the drapes on her dress, and I'm using a big rose tip, and I'm going to use the fat side down because we're making drapes. And so we're going to start up right here and swing around like this, and then come back up and swivel your wrist and your elbow at the same time. And then we're going to start back up here again, go around and swivel up to cover the lines from the front. Okay, so I'm going to start from this side now and from the front. I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm twisting this just to help me out a little bit. So next I'm going to use number 12 tip, and I want a swirl technique. I want it to look like waves. So I'm going to figure pipe it on there, and I'm going to start up here and do a swirl. And you get it in deep and flat, and then you come around and do even pressure around like that. Then get it in deep again, make sure it's flat, and come back around. And then I want this big swirl to overlap this one. So I'm going to do some more pressure, make sure it's flat and even. Then back around again. And then I want one right here. I got a little color on there, but that's okay because I'm going to airbrush it with color. Okay, so I'm going to get in here and do another one up on the top. And get in deep and do another swirl, make sure it's flat. and even pressure. And cover some of these edges. So I'm going for kind of a Nightmare Before Christmas look. So I want the swirls and the overlapping. And I'm almost done here. Just need to add a few more. I want most of the space is filled with the swirls. Okay, so now I'm going to airbrush the swirls. I want it to create a kind of smoke effect. I'm going to get close and swirl around like this, but you have to do it quickly and make sure that it's not so close that it makes holes in the icing. Okay, so I got to looking at it and I want to add just one more layer. So I'm going to use a bright red with the writing tip and just add a few little accents. So I'm happy with the red I put on. It makes the swirls pop a lot more. And now we're just going to put a border on. So now I'm back to my number 12 tip with the red and white striped bag, and I'm going to do a straight shell.
Thanks for watching our Monster High video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a few things. We sure did.
I definitely learned a few new things. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
And if you want to see more of Leah's work, go to our cake blog, The Art of Frosting. Thanks for watching our Monster High video. I hope you learned a few new things. I think we both did.
Yep. You're an idiot. Hi, I'm Leah Larson, and this is my mom, Liz Larson. You might recognize her from her other videos.
So we started getting a lot of requests